We'll start there and shrink it. And, oh, why did you do that? That's what we want to see. Yep. All right. Everybody, welcome back. Um, I was trying to explain to newcomers into the space of crypto while keeping up with crypto. And it's not even crypto, digital assets, assets on the internet, assets on the internet, um, also commodities on the internet, um, financial technology on the internet. All right, so it's however we choose to describe it. What you people would know it as is crypto, right? Crypto. And everybody's scared of it. It's taboo. Everybody's like, oh my God, I'm not getting in that stuff. It's a gamble. It's a risk. Blah, 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 blah. All right. So, what I want to quickly break down is um, we are at a very important point in the digital asset space. We've had a Clarity Act. We've had a Genius Act or whatever it was. Um, we've had the DTCC explain that they're bringing hundreds of trillions of dollars into this space. And we've had Europe say that they're going to be bringing all their citizens onto a digital identification, and they're going to be coming on to digital currency because it can all be monitored and approved and validated. No skipping out on taxes, no corrupt business, no money laundering, none of that stuff. We also know that Mexico has, yeah, I believe it's Mexico or someplace down there. Mexico by the end of 2026 or 2027, they intend to have all their citizens with digital IDs as well as doing their financial transactions digitally. Now, it's scary. It is. Truthfully, it is. But let me tell you all something. Are you aware that CCTV cameras are everywhere? Are you aware that there's flock cameras? Are you aware that the United States is bringing technology that will get, you know what? No, no, no. Are you aware that there's cameras over street lights, and when you run a red light the camera takes a picture, and whether it was you driving the vehicle or not, if it's registered to you, you get a bill in the mail? Are you aware that when you drive through tolls, you don't have to pay the toll? They take a picture of the vehicle, you and the license plate, and they send that bill in the mail or an email, but you're going to receive it. All right, so technology is highly advanced, and I know people feel like, oh, these people are just trying to watch everything that I do, and they're trying to control me, and so on and so forth. Right now, I want you to think. Can you think back this far? You might not be old enough. Way back in the day when Jesus walked on water. Just forgive me for that. So sometime back, we used to use checks. We used to learn how to write checks, fill them out in school. We learned how they worked, and yada yada yada. So there was points in time where we would go to a grocery store. We'd fill out a check, do groceries. We would pay bills with a check, right? We had to keep a balance, which was in the back of the checkbook, keep a balance of, the transactions. And, those transactions you knew had 7 days before they processed out. So you were like, oh my God, do not touch any money in your bank account because it'll take up to 7 days for that transaction to clear. So that check's in limbo until it gets put in the process to be processed. So that was the technology we came from. And everybody was so scared when they came out with these things called debit cards. And I remember I was working at a job, and the job said, hey, it wasn't even a job, it was a temp service. The temp service said, hey, we're trying to make things easier. We don't want to keep giving out checks because they take too long to process. But our bank that we go through offers these debit cards. I'm like, what's a debit card? Oh, it's a thing that you can go to an ATM and you can pull money out and you can pay your bills online and stuff. It's not hype yet, but it'll get there. People were so scared about it. You got people today that still don't use these cards. You have people today that'll still go to a backwater grocery gas station, and cash their check there and pay like $30, $40 to cash a check, because they don't want to go through the process of a banking system. So all of these things exist, right? They all exist. And so people are scared of technology. Now, should you be scared of this technology? Probably, right? Let's not do criminal stuff. Let's clean up our act. Let's be good about what we do, right? Because cameras are everywhere and they're watching everything you do. And it's been like that for some time. It's just gotten better, right? Your phones watch you. Your computers, if you have cameras on them, watch you. Some of your smart TVs watch you and listen to you. Your phones listen to you. You have all this technology around you that watches and listens to you. And if you're in smart homes, your cameras, has been proven with the lawsuit that Amazon uses your cameras to watch things too and listen. And some of us have homes that have these smart security systems that are attached to our HVA systems and other systems in our house, where somebody on the outside can control it. So if you think crypto networks are scary and you feel like it's the mark of a beast and you feel like this technology knows everything you're doing, you're so late. Look around yourself. Look at the devices in your home, look at the devices in your car, look at the devices that you carry on you, and then you'll understand that it doesn't matter. It's where the world's going, right? And for you Christian people, the book of Revelation tells you about a mark of the beast and you can't buy, sell, or trade. Yeah, I'm sure this is it. I am sure this is it, right? You're not going to be able to buy, sell, and trade unless you have a digital identification. Wait, what? Yeah, that's what they're all moving to, a digital identification. Now, I'm not a Christian, so that doesn't bother me the least bit. Don't care. But if that's something that you're worried about, I don't know what to tell you. You're not going to buy, sell, and trade. Is it a good thing, bad thing? Hey, look, man. The nuclear power was created, right? And when nuclear power was created, weapons and rockets were created, right? So rockets could never take us to the moon because we haven't been there yet, but neither here or there. And then there were bombs, like, the nuclear bomb, Hiroshima, right? And, the power plant or something, whatever happened in Russia. I don't remember. I should remember, but I don't. And then you look at the nuclear power plant, Fukushima, right? And you see all the radioactive waste and the displacement and destruction that came with all those things, right? But good things came with it, right? Was anybody screaming, saying, oh my God, it's the devil, right? And yes, clearly it could be your adversary. I get it. But, you know, that's just the way the world is. We can't undo it. We can't change it. This is how progress happens. I'm not for it or against it. I just know what it is, and I have to deal with it like you have to deal with it. But in the process of me dealing with it, I want to share this with you because you can get ahead of the eight ball and probably my thoughts on this is pretty much put yourself in a good financial position when all this happens. So what are we looking at here? I had ChatGPT give this image to me so I could talk about a few things. All right, so this is institutional crypto network adoption. That's exactly what's happening. Institutions are adopting the crypto networks, enterprise grade blockchains built for real world finance. That's literally what's happening. Now, the institutions who are driving demand, who are they? Banks, payments, settlements, liquidity. That's what the banks want to do. Governments, they want CBDCs, digital identity. Digital identity. Don't the governments want that? You've got a driver's license. You've got a real ID. What else do you have? You got a marriage license. You've got all these licenses and documents, but you're scared of this one? That's crazy. You've got driver's licenses and documents. You have passports. You got all this stuff, but now they're going to simplify it, and it's the end of the world. Gotcha. All right, so central bank digital currencies, right? Which the government can drop in your lap. Everybody's scared. Oh, Mr. Species, the government can take it. They can watch everything you're doing. Yeah, the government watches everything you do. What do you think Cash App is? I promise you the government's watching everything there. They're watching it. They know what you're doing. That's why you have to pay attention to what you're doing, right? So they're watching. You just let it go. They've been doing it. Now it's just going to be faster, better, more efficient. All right, so the government wants their central bank digital currencies, which is they can airdrop to you in a digital wallet when times like, say for instance, everybody's, oh my God, I want this $2,000 check that the quote unquote president wants to hand out. I want that. I want that. Right. And over the past few years, we, the citizens of the United States that have paid taxes, have received money from the government. Some people received it on Cash App. Some people had direct deposits to their banks, whatever the case may be. But I can promise you that with a digital ID comes a digital wallet, which the government can directly deal with. That doesn't mean you have to use just that digital wallet. You can pick up your own digital wallet and you can move funds. That's a whole nother conversation. But I want you to understand something. For the governments, this is gold for them. So this is the whole point of this conversation, is where we're going, so you don't miss the bus. You can get ahead of what's happening, and you can make something of it. This can be something good for you. All right. So the governments want CBDCs, digital identity, and they want a public infrastructure. Okay. That's what the crypto network is doing. Corporations, right? Say, for instance, the United States Treasury, tokenized assets they want, right? You think about your stock market. The stock market doesn't, you can't do anything in the stock market after like what, 4 or 5 o'clock or something like that. And then you got to wait till 9 o'clock Monday morning, open and bell. You can't do nothing over the weekends, right? Well, when you tokenize these assets, it's 24/7, 365. Okay. So, of course, corporations, treasuries, they want, they want to keep record and track of this stuff 24/7, 365. Supply chains, right? They want to track everything going everywhere. They want to know who's trying to rip them off. They keep track with the crypto network. Okay. Investment firms, asset tokenization, trading funds. Think about your 401ks, right? Think about your 401ks and think about how much money gets saved when they bring it onto the blockchain, and how you can buy in fractions, right? Like, oh, I can buy crypto, not crypto, I can buy stocks in fractions now. Yes, somewhat to a degree, but just imagine when $30 gets you that fraction of whatever that stock is, and it's coming out every pay period. You're just racking it up, because now it's brought into a really great size and put on blockchain. So investment firms know the potential of this, right? So banks know the potential, they want it. Governments know the potential, they want it. Corporations know the potential, they want it. Investment firms know the potential, they want it. Okay. So there's regulators. They want compliance, monitoring, and risk management, right? So anything that comes into this system, this financial system, it's got to be regulated. This is why you have the SEC, Securities Exchange, and the CFTC. Oh my God, Commodities Futures Trading, CFTC, blah, 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 right? So that's why you have these two departments trying to regulate this and get this stuff under control. And it's happening fast, right? All right, so why institutions adopt what they need? So they need, what they're going to adopt it, obviously, but what they need is security. They need enterprise grade infrastructure, right? They need regulatory tools, permissions, controls, which is the compliance. They need to be interoperable. They need to work with existing systems and standards, right? So there's an existing system, the old system, right? But we need this new system to intermingle with it so we can make this stuff happen, because people are still moving on older rails and older systems. They need scalability, high performance for a global scale. They need to be cost efficient, which they're automatically going to get from just boop, coming into crypto. And they need reliability, stable, resilient, and always transacting, right? And some of the important things they need is, to be able to deal with a company and not just a DeFi, right? Because everybody's like DeFi, DeFi, DeFi. That's cool. That's cool. But no, it's not. See, banks and institutions, they can't deal with that. If something goes wrong, they need clawbacks. They need somebody to correct a mistake. So this institutions is important, because this is where all the money is going to come from. And let me be very clear. The retail market is not going to pump these crypto assets, these digital assets. We're not doing it. We're not. Banks will do it. Governments will do it, corporations will do it, investment firms will do it. Okay, they're going to do it. DTCC, hundreds of trillions of dollars move through that system, right? Swift, all the money moving through there. So it's not retail. Okay, so if we're trying to grow our crypto value in a dollar amount, right? Technically, because we'll bring it back into a stable coin or central bank digital currency and we'll transact because that's how they're going to transact. Okay, let me be clear. These institutions aren't going to transact in an XRP or a Hedera or a Stellar or an Algorand. They're not going to do their business in that. These things go up and down in value. What do you mean? I'm trying to be as brief as I can, but it's so much to understand if you're coming into this space and you're nervous. All right, so you can look here. XRP is like $1.30 something right now. So if we transacted in this and then tomorrow it goes to like $1.28, I've lost money in whatever I was holding here. Ain't no bank trying to be sitting on no money. And then all of a sudden, 3 hours later, they done lost $150,000 in value because they were sitting here in this. That's crazy. Sure, they could go, we can make 150,000 in 3 hours. That's possible too, but the likelihood, who knows, right? So they're not going to hold that. They're not transacting in that. They're going to transact in stable coins and central bank digital currencies. Okay. So these networks, like you see here, enterprise focused crypto networks built for the institutions. Look, these are built for the institutions. Who is that? Banks, governments, corporations, and investment firms. Who's built for that? XRP Ledger. They do cross-border payments and liquidity and tokenization. Why are they built for it? One, they have fast transactions. These are the things that these institutions are looking for, right? So you've got Hedera, HBAR, Hedera, enterprise applications, governance token services, Stellar Lumens, XLM, cross-border payments, financial inclusion for people that don't have access, right? Stellar brings everybody into the party. Algorand, CBDCs, tokenization, DeFi, and scalability. And for those who want decentralized finance, Algorand can do that as well. They can do CBDCs for the institutions and DeFi. All right, and they're scalable. They can continue to scale up during the process of all this growth. Avalanche, aka AVAX, Enterprise, dApps, decentralized apps, subnets, and tokenization. This just ties back to stuff like Ethereum. It's like layer 2. And so it's doing the same thing. That's why it's listed here. We can work for institutions, Solana, high performance applications, decentralized finance, tokenization, and Polygon, scaling, tokenization, enterprise solutions. Okay. So everything that the institutions need, these ledgers can do it. You can contact these people through Ripple. You can contact them through their foundation, Stellar through their foundation, Algorand through their foundation, Avalanche through their. So institutions, banks, governments, corporations, they can all contact these. Is that important or what? It's important because if a situation happens, they don't want to play around with $150,000 if something goes up or goes awry. They don't want to deal with that. Hey man, we need somebody to fix this. That's why these networks, as we're following the money, right? This is the money. Remember, DTCC is bringing in hundreds of trillions of dollars worth of transactions. Are you serious right now? The crypto market is like 2.3 trillion right now. 2.3 trillion. Ooh. DTCC is bringing in over $100 trillion worth of transactions. Okay. These are built to handle that. Okay, XRP, Hedera, Stellar, Algorand, Avalanche, Solana, and Polygon, they're built to handle this. All right, so you're new coming in here, and you're like, well, what am I supposed to be doing? You're not chasing meme coins. That's gambling. You might as well go to a resort or what you call those places and hit the slot machines if that's what you're doing. If you're looking to run slots, don't get into crypto. No, don't get into this. You're gonna go broke and you're gonna hate life. If you are positioning yourself for a brighter future, and you're trying to position the ones that come after you to receive a great inheritance, right? The generations that follow. This is how you do it. Okay. This isn't overnight. This is you dollar cost averaging and growing your portfolio because this is the future. All right. It's the future. All right. So let's move along. Real world use cases transforming industries. So cross border payments, that's faster settlements, lower fees 24/7. You're sending money from one country, one government to another government, right? Or from a person to a bank so that another person can go pick it up from the bank. All right. That's what these cryptos are doing. Tokenized assets, real estate. Algorand's doing that, right? Real estate, bonds, commodities, equities. You can find this on Stellar, Hedera, and I believe XRP's involved with that stuff now. I don't know much about Avalanche. I think Solana's definitely involved in this space. Different currencies or stuff is built to do these things as well. All right, you got central bank digital currencies and digital currencies, central bank digital currencies. So, again, government wants its own currency, okay? Nothing personal, and they're not spying. Well, they've been spying on you. Just don't think this is something new. Supply chain finance, transparency, tracking, and provenance, right? So when countries and corporations are moving goods, they want that stuff to be tracked so they can keep up with it. All right. They're doing that with these networks. Smart contracts, automation, efficiency, reduced risk. Less risk when you have a smart contract, such as Solana's running smart contracts. I'm not sure. I think Stellar Lumens is getting into smart contracts. I believe Algorand does smart contracts, especially when it comes to real estate. And I believe XRP, the ledger, is getting into that stuff too. So the smart contracts take away error because it's already contracted to do something. Just think about a contract. Once the contract's set, you follow the contract. So once the contract's set, artificial intelligence is just doing the process. It's following the contract. Okay. Asset management, tokenized funds, decentralized finance, portfolio management. So then we start talking about stocks, bonds. We start talking about secured bonds, so on and so forth, and how that stuff gets brought onto the networks through these crypto networks, or these assets. And then that's how money moves 24/7, 365. So these are the things that the institutions hold great value in. You getting it? All right, so the big picture here is institutions aren't just exploring crypto, they're building on it. The future of finance is interoperable, compliant, and on chain. They need trust, right? And the adoption and the innovation for the global impact. Now they've already got the trust through these networks. XRP Ripple went to scrutiny through the SEC. Hedera's tied in with the government and working with the government. Stellar Lumens is working with the governments of all countries. Algorand, I believe they're working with governments. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Avalanche. Solana, I'm not sure about, and I'm definitely not sure about Polygon. But Solana has adoption, Avalanche has adoption, Algorand has, all of them have adoption, and all of them are innovative in creating global impact. Especially when you talk about Stellar Lumens, who's all over the continent of Africa, making big moves and bringing infrastructure to people that didn't have access to it. So the whole thing about this is, if you're getting into the space, it's for a long run. It's for the future. And you're going to be chasing the big money, which is the institutions, because the real retail market has nothing. I have nothing. Other retail people, such as myself, we have nothing, right? We have enough money to get in here and play around and grow things, but we are not bringing millions of dollars into the space. We're not, okay? I don't have it. I bring money weekly and I dollar cost average, and I just keep feeding the beast because I'm watching the main assets. There's a few more that are not on this list, but I'm watching the main assets and more assets that join in to institutional adoption, because this institutional adoption is what's going to grow your financial wealth and your future. So I hope that was helpful. Get in the comments, share your thoughts, and please share this video with anybody that's not understanding what this is that you've gotten into and probably need help understanding it. I hope this helps.